We've got the Tracy Take brother showdown as my Atlanta Falcons travel to Ryan's New England Patriots here in this Week 9 matchup. The first time this has happened on the channel so far. It's going to be a fun one. My name's Tyler here with my brother Ryan. We're going to break down this game and provide our predictions at the end. Be sure to stay tuned and leave a comment. Let us know who you think is going to win and why. While you're at it, hit that subscribe button, get notified when new videos come out. And Ryan, your Patriots are playing my Falcons at a perfect time of the season. You guys are firing on all cylinders, and we are hopefully firing somebody here real soon. So, Ryan, your Patriots looked really good against this Cleveland Browns team. It was a slow
Yeah.
start in the first half, only 9-7. That being said, though, the Browns have the best defense in the league, or top three best defenses in the league. It's I'll say this all year. It's a crime that this defense has to be paired with that Browns offense.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, though, your guys' defense looks solid. Really kept Dylan Gabriel in check. Not like that's that hard, but you guys have been good over these past couple of weeks. Drake Maye is looking great. He's looking like the MVP form that everybody's saying that he's in as of right now. And my Atlanta Falcons really struggling. To be fair to everybody who should get fired, you guys are dealing with injuries on the Falcons side, or that's what we're dealing with. Like, didn't have Drake London, didn't have Michael Penix. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but not having Divine Diablo, who's now on IR, not having Jalen Walker, and so like those are tough as well too. But
Yeah.
we'll get into uh, the Falcons here in a second. But Ryan, I want you to talk about your Patriots here and why you think that they're going to win the game outside of the fact that maybe they're just a better team and better coached and play better.
Yeah. I mean, the Patriots, especially the last like 4 or 5 weeks, have really kind of started to put together some really good team performances. I think you look defensively, they missed Christian Gonzalez for the first 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks of the season. And then, you know, defense has slowly kind of improved from there. They still start really slow, which is frustrating. But if you give up a touchdown in the first drive of the game and then you only give up 6 more points the rest of the game, that's fine with me. And from there, offensively, I mean, Drake Maye is just playing so good. This, eh, so I saw a stat today about just Drake Maye and this passing offense as a whole. Drake Maye now has 7 starts with 200 plus yards, 135 plus or higher passer rating in seven straight starts. Only Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Tom Brady have ever done that before. And all 3 seasons that they did it, they won the MVP. And so, like, we're now entering that territory with Drake Maye, and it's just been phenomenal to watch. I hope Patriots fans feel so lucky that they only had 5 years of bad football in between, Tom Brady, and then hopefully what is the start of the Drake Maye era in New England. So, other things offensively, I think the running game has really started to get going for the Patriots, which I think is going to be a big problem for your Falcons, just because that rushing defense is not the greatest. The passing defense is good. You guys have a good pass rush, but in the last couple weeks, New England has run for 175 yards and 177 yards, averaging about 5 yards a carry in 2 weeks ago, and a little over 4 yards a carry this week. So a good rushing performance there, and how they stack up. I mean, I want to give your Falcons credit. I think offensively, they've done a really good job of collecting weapons. You look Bijan, Drake London. I think Kyle Pitts is a good pass catching tight end. I don't know if I would want him as like my second best receiving option. But I still think he's a good tight end. And then Tyler Algier and Bijan are probably the best running back tandem in the league, and how they complement each other is just
Yeah.
very it's a very good combination between the two. So I think your Falcons, like, it's definitely going to be a test here for the Patriots. But the Falcons have some struggles, I think, right now that I'll let you talk a little bit more about.
Yeah, well, I think for real quick with running back team, I think Bucky Irving, Rashad White with Tampa Bay. That's one
Yeah.
that could be up there. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet in Seattle, I think is really good. Christian McCaffrey and whoever he's paired with, is
Yeah,
magic
that's fair.
up there. But yeah, I think real quick before we get to my Falcons, the Patriots, just been watching them a lot. They've grown a lot this season already in the 6 or 7 games, and I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I think compare that to my Atlanta Falcons here, but it's like seeing like where they were at versus then when they were down in Miami. Um, or even week 1 when they lost to the Raiders,
Yeah.
and then they lost the Steelers then in week 3. So they're 1-2. and they've won 5 games in a row up to this point. It's even to just seeing the progression of this offense week in and week out. Like you're seeing like 5% increase, like 5% improvement there, 2% improvement in this part. Like everything is meshing well together. And you're even seeing guys that you guys have drafted late, like Kayshawn Booty, Pop Douglas as well too. Travion Henderson had a game today, 10 carries for 75 yards. He had that fumble, he almost scored a touchdown, but unfortunately he
Yeah.
fumbled as well. So it's like, and we're seeing stats like this for amongst a lot of guys each and every week now. So you guys have lots of different options and different guys that can go through. And I think that comes down to the coaching thing that's come from Mike Vrabel coming in. Josh McDaniels has always run a very complex system, and so it takes some time for guys to get used to it. And I think you guys are well ahead of schedule
Yeah.
coming in here. So that's where I think it's like not only have you guys drafted good talent also, but the coaching is the difference. And that's where it's segueing to my Falcons here, where it's just the coaching is just I was sitting there watching with Dad before you and your wife showed up here, and it's like I'm calling the plays, like because it's just it's so predictable and it's so uncreative. Every time Charlie Warner's in motion, it's a run play. Every time there was another receiver, like not Charlie Warner, it was a pass play. And once again, caveat, like to be fair to Kirk Cousins as well too, it's like no Drake London. You're not you guys could go and check out what I've said about past Falcons preview videos that we do. Like you take Drake London out of this offense, there goes our passing game. Like this, Kyle
Yeah.
Pitts is good secondary. Not even say he shouldn't. He should be like a tertiary or whatever the fourth one is, quadrutiary option. And he's like that's good, but you don't want him to be leading the team in targets or in
Yeah.
just as well too because there's just nobody else out there as well. And then as well too, just on top of that, just on top of the uncreative play calling by Zach Robinson, who I think should be the first guy to get fired. And then
Yeah.
Raheem Morris probably should be fired, depending on what happens here, should be fired at the end of the year. I'll give a quick shout out to Terry Fontenot. Like now, maybe he could be fired because we don't have a first round draft pick. That was his decision to trade it up, but we got James Pierce Jr. and our pass rush has been better this year, which is what fans we've talked about has been wanting. I think he's drafted good talent as like as you've mentioned as well here too. Getting guys in third round like Zach Harrison, Tyler Algier. Well, too, Casey Washington, I think, has some upside. He's given an opportunity here because there's nobody else to throw to. So you got Drake London, Bijan as well, all those guys. And so Kyle Pitts is still, that's probably a downer, but in general. But the coaching, though, of it, just some stinking coaching. They looked unprepared today to go up against one of the worst teams in the league. And we made Tua look good. We we made Mike McDaniel look like a competent coach. And that's where it's really frustrated me. And I go look at the progress that your Patriots have made
Yeah.
during these 7 to 8 game span, especially offensively. And then I go look at what Zach Robinson has done over the past year and a half. And I'm sitting here wondering, like, was Arthur Smith a better play caller? Like, is a legitimate debate. And like I think he might have been because Zach Robinson, it looks unoriginal. If it wasn't for we might have the best running back in the league in Bijan Robinson, who's the shiftiest guy, Drake London, who's I would say a star already, a star in the league. Like
Yeah.
he's
He's a
really
top
good.
10. You could maybe make an argument like top 15
But
receiver in the league. But like
he,
he's in that tier. He's going to be a high paid guy at the end
he
of the season.
and Michael Penix's cannon of an arm, like it is up. There's one of the better arms in the league. Now, what's going on in between the ears? I think that's what needs to be worked on in the processing. But to be fair to Penix, though, is once again this offensive system is so uncreative, and that's where I think what's frustrated me. Then we're gonna watch this game together, and it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be rooting for the Falcons, and I'm just gonna see what Josh McDaniel's calling up. Like the first touchdown that you guys had here as well in this Browns game. Just what a beautiful series of events. And if I'm remembering correctly, but it was the pitch out wide, Trayvon Henderson, which broke for a good 20-yard gain. Great blocking, great offensive line got downhill while the receivers stayed back and blocked to create that lane. Then there's another play to the right, and then there was that pitch lateral pass that Mac Jones hit. I think Kayshawn Booty too.
Drake Maye, you mean?
Yeah, Drake Maye. Sorry, who did I
Yeah.
say?
Mac Jones.
Sorry. My bad. He way better than Mac Jones, but that Drake May hit, I think, to Kayshawn Booty, And then the next play after that was a play action bootleg, I think, to who was the guy that scored that
Hunter
first touchdown?
Henry, I believe,
Hunter
was the
Henry.
one.
Like it
Yeah.
was just a beautiful sequence of events that just totally befuddled this Browns defense. And I'm never going to see that from my Atlanta Falcons. And that's where I think that's what I think this game's going to come down to. That's what the entire season of Atlanta is going to come down to. And we saw it last week with the 49ers. I think the Buffalo Bills game we played better in. I felt more confident in. But I also think, too, we go back and look at it. The Bills were extremely banged up. Josh Allen had no one to throw to. We maybe even had an extra day to prepare since it was Monday Night Football. If you want to give it a caveat, like we still beat the Bills, yes, but I mean, come on, it's like that was maybe that one game out of 10 that an underdog team could beat the Bills. So, to me, I think Atlanta is like Zach Robinson. Really, we got to change some things. Or even then I'm looking at Arthur Blank and be like, hey, then if he's not going to change anything, you've got to change some things because
Yeah.
this is unacceptable. Especially now it's been 8 years now since we've been to the playoffs or since we won a playoff game. We invest all this time and all this money, and you're just like, this is what we get. After
Yeah.
everything with Arthur Smith, now we're going through this, and that's what's frustrating about it. Is it's not like we're seeing the progress like how your Patriots are doing.
Yeah.
Where week in and week out, maybe you guys still lose to some games, maybe there's still some inexperience. Your guys' team is about as young as I know. We're one of the younger
A little
teams in the
bit. We
league,
had a big influx of free
but
agents that is upping our like average age, but I want to say our average age is probably like
Morgan Moses
27.
alone, yeah,
Yeah,
Morgan
he'll be
Moses alone,
35. And then
yeah,
like
so
Steph Diggs and Matt Collins are both 32.
yeah.
So
But
there's
but once again though too, if I go look at your guys' stat sheet as well, the guys who are producing now, Stephon Diggs, he had a touchdown catch today, but now this isn't the best example. Like Matt Collins had the most catches today, but Kayshon Boutte, 3 catches on 5 targets. Pop Douglas had a good game as well too. Ramondre Stevenson, he did get a contract extension, but the Trayvon Henderson, who you guys drafted last year, or no, this year, sorry.
yeah.
So you guys have young talent too, and you guys are able to develop them, and we're just not. So my prediction, I want people to trust us as like legitimate people to. I will be rooting for the Falcons. I want the Falcons to win this game. And Falcons fans, if you are upset with me for doing this, then I think you're too biased on this. But I think the Patriots going to win this game. It's in New England. Falcons have not played well in general. Definitely not on the road. Outside of a great defensive front seven performance against Minnesota. I just could we win this game? Absolutely. Do I want them to win this game to keep our playoff hopes alive? Absolutely. But if I'm also looking at this from a business perspective of the Tracy take, trying to be like honest people who are like, no, these are our opinions on how I think this game's going to go. I see very few ways the Falcons can win this game because our coaching is going to screw us.
I I could see a way the Falcons win this game. I think if you guys get Jalen Walker back, I think your pass rush could overwhelm this offensive line. The Patriots have one of the more sack friendly offensive lines in the league. I say that knowing full well like Drake Maye has the highest or like second highest time to sack in the league, which means they're holding on to the ball a long time and he's putting more pressure on the offensive line to actually pass protect. And so if your guys pass rush just kind of takes over, I think that's fine. Or like that's a way that you guys could win. I also think this rushing attack is very good. I know the Patriots have the second ranked rushing defense in the league in terms of rushing yards allowed, but all in all, like I still think the way Bijan and Tyler Algier can run the ball,
I
I think
agree.
that they could potentially have a strong game. All of that being said, I still feel like this Patriots defense, they might give up a touchdown on the first drive or on the first couple possessions. But if you go look, like this team is winning third quarters by like almost 2 touchdowns, if not more, on average. And so like they have been so strong in the second half. Drake Maye today was okay in the first half. He came out 8 for 8 for 140 yards and 3 touchdowns in the second half, and with a perfect passer rating. And so, I like for me, I think that's the big thing is I don't see how you guys can slow this offense down for 60 minutes. And I think you guys will struggle to consistently put up points on the offensive side of the football.
So I agree, like on how a rushing attack can is really good. It's just we have to run the ball to do like we have to call running plays, and we have to be unpredictable in calling those. And that's coming back to my whole rant about coaching and that's our issue.
Yeah.
Is you guys are going to see that. Like Patriots fans watch. Unless if somehow Zach Robinson gets this. Whenever number 89, the white tight end, Charlie Warner, when he goes in motion, that's a running play. Whenever if it's like Darnell Mooney going across and they're in the pistol, that's a passing play. Like like that's just it is what it is. And there's no changing of that from Zach Robinson. And it's like unless if he changes it somehow this week, if somehow he gets the memo that today's performance was like, oh shoot, I guess what I've been doing this past year and a half is not working. I do think in general, I think it's going to be an interesting game if Drake London can play. Well, not even an interesting game, but more interesting matchup between London versus Gonzalez. If Penix
Yeah.
is back, I'll have to check on his bone bruise. That's why he didn't play. That's going to be interesting as well too on how he processes the defense because I feel like one of his biggest issues is breaking down defenses, going through his reads when under pressure. And I think Vrabel is going to pick up on that. And you guys are going to provide a lot of pressure, a lot of blitzes as well too, making him uneasy.
Yeah.
In the San Francisco game on the road, that's what Robert Saleh did, and he looked uncomfortable and panicky. Same thing too in Carolina as well. So that's just the thing. And so I agree with you. And that's where I think we could have a really good offense. It's just the system that we're currently running in is exploited by the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. Yeah. And all in all, I just think that the Patriots are going to be I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think they're going to be too talented for this
Yeah.
Falcons team because I think you look at Christian Gonzalez versus Drake London. That's a fun matchup. But I think then you go look, Carlton Davis on Casey Washington is dominant. Carlton Davis. And then it's like Darnell Mooney, Marcus Jones, who's been having a fantastic season. I really like there. I don't know. All in all, I just think the Patriots are going to be a really good team throughout the rest of the year. And I think it's going to be a tough out here for the Falcons.
You're being much nicer knowing like how much of a beatdown this is going to be.
Well,
you're being very nice for the PG viewers here.
Well, I'm trying to be unbiased in this because I like the Patriots. They've won 5 straight. Like they've looked really good, but at the same time, like this Falcons defense statistically is really good. I think the Patriots have started to turn things on in the last, especially the last like 3 games. They've looked really good. And the Falcons, have struggled in the last few. But I still think there's a lot of talent on this Falcons team, and we'll see. Like we'll find out.
You never know. Like any given Sunday, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, too, they could go there and light it up in Gillette Stadium. So I doubt it. Again, I doubt it. But
yeah. No.
On
the
that
49ers,
note,
the 49ers held us to 10 points. Like no.
True. And they just gave up a ton to the Texans.
Yeah.
So I still think you guys could go in there, especially in the first quarter, and put up 10, maybe 14 points. I'm just really curious after that, what does that game look like?
Once again, like we could break down the matchups and all that stuff, but my final thing, the biggest X factor is going to be y'all's coaching is way better than ours. Even to just final point, the halftime adjustments that Josh McDaniels made to open things up in the second half to start exploiting that Browns defense is the difference.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I don't know. I still think it's going to be a fun watch. I think it'll be.
It'll be good. We'll get the whole family together after you beat down on Mom's team, and then now you get to beat down on my team.
Yeah,
and
then next week, Dad's team will beat down on your team.
Oh yeah, in Berlin. And so
yeah,
only way that'd be better is if we were actually going to Berlin to watch that game.
Yeah, that's an expensive trip, but
yeah, we need a lot more subscribers.
yeah, for sure. So let's go ahead. Let's wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Will it be Tyler's Atlanta Falcons? Will it be my New England Patriots? And other than that, we will see you guys next time.